Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, Team Mosso at the1916company.com for purchase pricing and availability questions concerning this watch. And this watch is the IWC Pilot's Watch Mark 16. This is the 3255-01, and this was probably the last of the purely uncontroversial Mark Series watches. The Mark Series always had a lot going for it that brought it a lot of credibility with watch collectors. It had history, it had heritage, it had a disarming simplicity, purity of form, and clarity of purpose. But with the arrival of the Mark 17, with the contentious dial design in a much larger case, for the first time the watch became something divisive, whereas previously, as with the Mark 11 through Mark 16, it had been almost universally renowned as one of the greats in the industry. Now, I don't buy that the 17 was not a great mark, but there's no doubt that the 16 was. And so that's what we have here today. Smaller and cleaner than its successor. It's 39 millimeters in diameter in steel. It's 10.6 thick, and then 47.7 from lug to lug with a 20 millimeter spacing between the lugs. And the watch, as you see it here, the Mark 16 Classic, was made from 2006 to 2011. Now this one's on a bracelet, which not all of them are, but I feel like it adds a lot of versatility, durability, and value. You can see on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters circumference, it wears beautifully. And although 39 millimeters was by no means considered unisex back then, and that wasn't the idea, it actually works out that way today. And I could see this working well on a woman's wrist because the end links of the bracelet are completely pivoted, and you can pull the bracelet straight down out of the lugs. Taking a look now, you can see over the top, which always exaggerates the width of the watch, down the barrel, which gives you a much better sense of how much clearance I've got on each side. And then the cuff shot, which demonstrates just how flat this watch is. It will easily slide under a cuff. And if you wanted to dress it up, you could easily do so on black alligator leather. The bracelet's a lovely piece, and you can see it has these unusual sort of beveled and faceted links of different designs. We've got no fewer than 3 different link designs from one side of the bracelet to the other, and it has quite a good deal of depth. It's all brushed with the exception of the outer faces. And then if you look at the underside, you realize that you're going to get the right sizing here because every single link is removable, and that on both sides of the bracelet. We have engine turning and a single fold deploying. It does have a trigger, so it needs to be depressed before it'll pop open. It's not a friction fit system, so you get a bit more security than that. IWC, and it's a very flat and compact clasp. It doesn't add a lot of height on the wrist. Rolling around to the case, this harks back to the very first IWC Mark Series watches, the late 1940s. Everyone knows the Mark 11. Now, initially, there were a lot of producers of Mark 11s, or at least a handful, I should say. And in the long run, as with the Breguet Type 20, what started as a type built by more than one supplier became inextricably linked to a single manufacturer. And so the Mark Series has become a very IWC tradition over the years. Very simple form follows function, lugs blended into caseband. You can see that the back is a little bit stepped in, and so is the bezel to visually thin it a bit. We have a very fine and narrow polished accent that runs all the way around. And if you look carefully here, you'll see that there is no separate bezel. It's all a monoblock case, so everything loads through the case back. We have an IWC Probus Scafucio crown with the IWC logo and motto. It is a screw down, and it's 60 meters water resistant, so screw down and 60 is enough for surface swimming, so no concerns there. Underneath the case back, there is a soft iron shell or a paramagnetic shell around the movement to endow it with a little bit of anti-magnetic qualities. You can see the underside of the lugs in very good shape. They have little flatted feet. And then we roll back to the dial side where we have an instrument aesthetic drawn from the look of instruments on the flight deck of a analog 20th century aircraft. We have a very simple matte finish to reduce glare and a white on black print that makes the contrast level high. Turn the lights off, and there's no shortage of luminescence. We also have a black date disc, which is definitely the way to go if you're going to have a date on a watch like this. Let it blend in. We have stop seconds, so you can set it to a reference time. And then we also have a quick set date. Inside we have a ETA 28928-2 in top grade doing business as the IWC caliber 30110. It's a bidirectional automatic winder with a 42-hour power reserve, A quick set stop seconds, a 4 hertz beat rate, and 21 joules, and it would have been decorated and adjusted in-house by IWC with some changes made prior to delivery. This was a period when IWC was still putting a little bit of original work into the ETAs before it switched over primarily to in-house and Vol-Fleurier movements later on. But this timepiece right here is simply an all-arounder. Yes, it works as a pilot's watch. Yes, it works if you love a vintage look, but it's also for him and for her in this day and age. The size is versatile. Plus, if you only want one watch, this is a great candidate. Reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details.